Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. I am Sean.
I'm tuberculosis Tori.
And again, I am arthritic Anthony.
Oh.
So today we will be doing our best of 2020 lists. Anthony, starting at your 10. What's your 10?
My number 10 is, unfortunately, and I'm not saying that this is a bad movie, because it's really pretty to look at. And it's one of those ones that, does keep you captivated throughout. And I know it's a little low down on the list, but it's Pearl from Ti West. So, I mean, it made the list. And in this sense, it's actually just an honorable mention from my point of view. That's just my perspective. I'm sure I'll get, um, ass lynch. I don't even know if that's really a thing, but I'm sure there are plenty of listeners out there that would disagree with, my placement of this film on the list. It has lots and lots of fun slashing, and again, these are things that we've already spoken about, so we might move through these a tad quicker, just because we've already, like, again, refer back to previous episodes, check those out. But Pearl was my number 10 from Ti West, which is obviously the follow-up or prequel to X.
It is definitely, I feel like it was a very important movie for Ti West. So I mean, it is a fantastic movie. It just didn't make my best of. I gotta go with Hatching. I don't know if it was just the fact that I literally sat in an AMC watching this fucking movie. One of the first movies I saw going back was the first one where it was like you, me, and Ray, Anthony. We saw it. I don't remember who else was there. I know Kirsten was there. And I'm just watching this movie going, I can't believe I'm seeing this in a fucking AMC. It was just like bonkers is a word that's thrown around a lot. And I don't know that, and I do the same thing. I say bonkers, and it's not really that bonkers. This is fucking bonkers, especially in the context of seeing the theater. And just directed by Hannah Bergholm, weird bird monster doppelganger. That's it. How could you? It had to be. So that's my number 10.
I like that word, bird monster doppelganger.
BMD.
It's hyphenated. It's hyphenated, right?
Yeah. Bermanganger. The weird Bermanganger. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the true like Norwegian word for it too, Bermanganger.
It probably is. It's Norwegian.
The type of German porn.
Oh,
the Bermanganger.
Wow, that would be one of those things. You'd see the thumbnail and be like, "Is this like some kind of weird hatching cosplay porn? Should I hit play?" No, but I hit it anyway. What am I anyway?
Fan fiction, erotic fan fiction for
God.
Anthony 9.
Oh man,
Smile from Parker Finn.
Oh, okay.
It's like I said, it's a little low down, and again, this was just meant to be an honorable mention. So these top five, not top five, but the back five are in no particular order.
Got it.
Smile from Parker Finn. Again, it had its issues. There's a lot of instances where it's trying to do elevated horror and it doesn't quite pull it off. But there's a lot of surprising moments in this one that kept me, interested throughout the film. And I'm glad I got to go sit down and see this one. Almost in an empty theater too. So that was pretty nice. But no, I didn't hate this one at the end of the day. And considering I even have 10 movies that I've watched throughout this year and throughout the horror season, this is it's a pretty solid flick to make the list anyway. So it's a great honorable mention. And my number 9, it's Smile from Parker Finn.
Great fucking score. That was probably my favorite score of the year.
So good. That sound design in general is just I just heard something about how the title, the way it kind of like stutters when they do the title, they actually had to change something about it because I feel like what I read or heard was like it was possibly like seizure inducing or something. I don't know.
It turned you into a Roman senator.
Seizure inducing. Oh man, Tori, I'm telling you. I can't wait to burn one on your front porch again because you come up with some gold sometimes, man. Caesar inducing. You got to make up some hazard labels for that and put it on shit. That'd be hysterical.
Oh,
Uh,
it made me
um,
fist someone with an armful of buttercream.
oh, I don't know if that ties into Caesar, but
Caligula? No, nobody.
no,
Caligula. Oh, okay,
no.
interesting. Okay, come on.
Laughed. A little
Uh,
Nero joke in there.
My number 9 would be Chloe Okuno's Watcher with Micah Monroe and Carl Guzman. Is just really, this is that line where it's like, is it a thriller or is it horror? And at the end of the day, I don't fucking know. I mean, some things I just go by gut instinct, but I just thought it was a super solid, like, I call it, when I talked about it on here a couple months ago, the single white female subgenre is what I think of it in my head, or like Pacific Heights, that those kind of things. And they're not always completely great. Like some of those movies I just mentioned, they have a lot of moments that buoy them, but although Pacific Heights is badass, but this one I thought was just a class act from top to finish, extremely well done, and just, I don't know, I just really really liked it a lot. I thought Micah Monroe did fantastic in it, and yeah, it's a great movie. So that was my number 9, Watcher. Anthony, 8.
Number 8 is going to have to be VHS 99. Again, we
Oh,
covered it. It's got enough stuff on there, whether or not you either like all the segments or don't like all the segments, there's still enough of it there to keep you entertained. I didn't go into this movie expecting, the gold of the first 2 films, and I was quite surprised with what I did end up seeing. And if you go back to that episode, there's a handful of bits on here that I really did enjoy, with the exception of like one maybe. So again, a movie I didn't utterly hate, and that meant it was worthy of the list. So yeah, VHS 99, available on Shudder. It's y'all go watch that. That's fun. I enjoyed it, and everybody who has heard me talk about it online has actually called me a crackhead and has asked me what I'm smoking, because they want some of that because they didn't like the movie. So I'm gonna say something to you guys who said those awful nasty things to me. Your mother. Anyway.
Wait, that's not the Danzig song at the end of that movie.
No, it's not. But that definitely brought that film up a notch or two for me. So yeah.
That's great. I love that. I mean,
yeah, mother.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like, it's your list. It's like nobody has a right to contest to it because it's your list. It's like they might not agree, but it's I mean, wait till you get to my number 2.
Fuck 'em.
People are gonna. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, fuck them in the ear, Henry. No,
Wait till you hear Sean's number 1 is Mr. Mom. You're gonna be very disappointed.
Man. People are gonna be like, "What kind of crack are you smoking?" I'll be like, "Whatever kind you're willing to drop off in my mailbox. That'd be great." I'll go break in and 10 off a Buick.
Yeah, my number 1 stopper my mom will shoot is definitely going to rival that. So that should be fun.
That's true. Damn, this is gonna be a throwdown at the number 1.
Oof, that's right.
Where are we at? What was that? 8.
That was number 8.
8. Okay, sorry. I got lost. My number 8. This is dude, I'm having trouble placing these, so I'm just gonna fucking pick one and do it.
Sure.
This was a last minute addition. I watched this 3 times in like 2 days, like a week or 2 weeks ago. A Wounded Fawn, Travis Stevens. Absolutely fucking floored me. That's all I'll say for now. Just absolutely floored me. Wow. Travis Stevens, A Wounded Fawn.
Yeah, that movie was
Wow.
pretty beautiful.
Wow. Just another great score too.
Yes, definitely.
By Vaal, Vaal, not to be confused with Val, Vaal. There is actually 2 artists out there. They're one vowel separates them.
What are they, fucking Welsh? Like what vowel?
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, just Tori, is this on your list?
I I should have put it on my list, but I think I forgot about it and didn't add it in. But
So let's
I
talk
I
about it
would
for a minute
I
then.
would throw it in.
So tell me about your reaction to this movie. Because we haven't talked about this on the show at all.
I thought it was great. First of all, it's artsy, so I get it. It's gonna be very polarizing. People
Yeah,
are gonna be like,
totally.
"Oh, it's too art house." Okay, I get it, but there's a shit ton of gore to kind of make up for that, and the beautiful score that has this beautiful lighting, this imagery. It very much reminded me of a giallo,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
I'm all about aesthetically. I think it's gorgeous.
Well, the implement of murder too is very giallo because like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah,
where did you get that, sir?
yeah, yeah. I was like, is this dude from like Constantinople? That's where he gets his fucking weapons from. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, what happened? Um, but I loved it. I love the way it was shot. I think it was shot on 16 millimeter,
I'm
35.
not sure about that. I meant to look that up because you did mention that before, and I did not, so I won't say anything. So, but if it wasn't, it looks
It is
like
shot
it.
on film. It is shot on film for sure. I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and it's the same director that did Girl on the Third Floor and
Jacob's wife.
yes, at which
And
Jacob's
dude,
wife. Both of those are great, but Jacob's wife,
and
yes.
you can't pick three more like totally different fucking movies. Like holy shit! Anybody that's gonna be like, ah, it's fucking A24 horror. First of all, fuck off for just limiting yourself, but also, yeah, but look at his other two movies. They're not. So it's not like people bitch about Ari Aster and David Eggers and or Robert Eggers, sorry, and
Mm-hmm.
okay, fine. If you want to be like, oh, all they do is the art house, art house horror. Okay, whatever. You could at least probably argue your point. You couldn't argue it here because it's like Jacob's wife is like I mean, it's just a solid flick. I don't know
It
what Girl on the
is.
Third Floor is. I didn't particularly love it, but I mean, it's just three totally different movies.
I could see what he was doing with Girl on the Third Floor. I mean, the only running thing I could see with this dude is he likes strong female characters,
Yeah,
but that's the only trend I see. But yeah, Wounded Fawn. I just happened to read about it on Shutter really quickly, and it kind of checked all the boxes for me. So I said, "Fuck it, let's do it." And I was really pleasantly surprised.
yeah,
Think of Greek tragedy meets Maniac.
yeah. That's a good way to say it, man.
Just like Caligula. I get it. Okay.
There probably is overlap there. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Less
I'm in.
boobies than Caligula.
Oh,
Sorry.
or full frontal. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no
it's
dong, no hanging dong.
it's great and two unbelievably solid performances by Josh Rubin and Sarah Lind and I've not I mean Sarah Lind I looked her she looks so familiar. I think she just looks like Linda Cardellini to me, not taking anything away from Sarah Lind, but I kept going, what do I know her from? And I'd look at her IMDb stats and be like, I don't none of this is like jumping out at me. And then Kirsten's like, I think she looks like Linda Cardellini. It's like, okay, maybe that's it.
She sounded familiar though too. Like I'm like I know her
Man,
voice.
yeah, you're same thing. And I don't know if there's something I missed or what, but and Ruben I had not seen before. I know what he's done, but I had never seen him before. And I across the board, I just very, very good performances. So
Yeah,
really enjoyed that
definitely.
movie.
Hopefully,
So
I
that was
hope those people do more stuff because they were great, and that was what you could do with a small budget.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
That's my number 8. Anthony, 7.
Number 7 with a bullet. I'm gonna get some shit for this. It is Halloween Ends from David Gordon Green. Didn't make top 5, but did make the list. And again, we've discussed this in a previous episode of why I enjoyed the film and why I appreciated the directions that it went, because I had always hoped to have, some sort of new breath blown into it by fucking anything and anyone. just because it can't just be the same knife movie over and over again.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that it eventually got changed up and became something a little different. And I'd spoken about it before. I think it was during Rob Zombie's. I think it was which was it Rob Zombie, the one where he had like a crazy doctor also,
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
and is that the one though? Honestly, I can't remember if I'm getting the two mixed up or not. And I kind of hope that no, I think it was the Gordon Green one where the doctor puts on the mask and starts, kind of wanting to be um Michael and then gets his head crushed in, right? Is that
Oh
the
yeah,
is
yeah.
that the
That's
20?
kills. That's kills. I
Yeah.
think.
Is it Kills?
Or
I don't know which
or
one it is.
18. I don't know. It's fucking one of them. You're right. They are all
It's one
mushed
of them.
together.
Yeah, and so it's got nothing to do with Rob Zombie at the end of it. But no, I was kind of hoping that was the end of it right there. They killed off Michael, and it would have been somebody else, the doctor
Yeah.
or something like that. Because again, he's fucking geriatric. Let's do something new. Let's do something different. The kills were fun in this movie. I know a lot of fucking people hated it, and before the movie came out, it had gone through test screenings, and people were like, "Yeah, you're not going to have fun with this. You're not gonna enjoy it." And that's sad when um, like Jamie Lee's coming out and saying, "Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to enjoy this. A lot of people aren't going to like the ending. A lot of people, and not just from her, but like other cast members too." But I gave it a shot. I gave it a fair shot, and like again, did make the top five, but did make the overall honorable mention list. So there it is.
Yeah. Dude, I applaud. It didn't make my list, but I mean, I enjoyed it. So
It
I'm
made
glad
my
to see
list of movies I hated that came out this year.
it.
You make my shit list.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
good song.
It was like the first Power. Come on. It was a redo of First Power with a mask. Do you guys remember
Oh,
that
One of the
movie?
greatest, one of the greatest films of all time, starring
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips and a man with a ceiling fan is like a chainsaw type thing. That was pretty
Oh
interesting.
yeah. I remember
Ceiling.
watching that back when it was on video, and I remember the ads when it was in theaters. I was like, this movie's gonna be fucking awesome. And when I saw it, I was like, and I was like a teenager. I wasn't that, I mean, I think I had decent taste, but I was pretty dumb. And I was just like, this fucking movie sucks. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what it was about the movie. Didn't like it. Maybe we should revisit it.
It's on Tubi.
There you go.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Uh 7. And then we all come together.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hellbender. The Addams family, not the titular Addams family, but the ADDAMS family. They have done a first for me. Recently on my blog, I posted my which is just, it's like Sean C. Baker Blogspot or whatever it is. Terrible at self-promotion. I did my, top, or I'm doing my top 10 albums this week, and the Addams Hellbender is also the name of the fucking band, and the album is in my top 10 albums. So the same people put out one of my favorite 10 movies and one of my favorite 10 albums this year. It's a first, and both are killer, let me tell you. But yeah, I was so blown away by Hellbender. Very, very pleased with it. Great performances, low budget, and just really knew how to use special location. It's just gorgeous. But man, I don't know, really, really cool movie.
Yeah, great use of money or lack thereof.
Yeah, right. And which apparently they do all the time. I still haven't watched their Dig Two Graves, and there's one more I think that they have. I need to do that. But from anything going forward that they put out, I'll see right away. We are at number 6. Tori. Hit us.
Oh,
Number
okay.
6.
Gotta get ready now. So my number 6 is Hatching.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Body horror. It was gross.
Yeah.
I loved it because anybody could fucking remember going through puberty and how shitty it was.
Oh yeah.
And everybody can relate to that and how awkward you are and just trying to find your place.
Not me. I was gorgeous the whole time, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Born with a beard. Uh, yeah, I love Hatching. So number 6 for me.
Very, very good. And you saw it theater or on Hulu? I think
No, I watched it on Hulu because I'm
I
late to
wonder.
everything.
No, that's fine. I mean, especially these days, geez, I mean, um, I don't know if it's still. I'd like to tell people it's still on Hulu. I'm not 100% sure about that. If it definitely look it up if you're interested. Man, yeah, it's just a great flick.
Don't eat while you're watching it. That's all I could say.
Good advice. Also, if you have a pet bird, put a blanket over the cage. They
Aww.
might scar them.
Aww.
Anthony 6.
Number 6. Another legacy sequel. David Bruckner's Hellraiser, which is
Oh,
marred by some of the writing from Goyer. I believe his name is David S. Goyer.
yeah.
Also responsible for ruining a lot of the DCU. Um, that's another topic altogether. Hellraiser had, enough things in there, and I'm saying this a lot. It had just enough to keep me entertained. Um, this one had enough of the, original lore, and it had some new expanded lore, had some new takes on Cenobites, which I thought were just stunning. A lot of, and again, my one main complaint about that is that enough, there wasn't enough attention individually, like on each Cenobite, so
Mm-hmm.
you can actually see all the beautiful detail that went into those practical effects and all those skin suits that they had. Fucking gorgeous work from like when you go seek all that stuff out online and you're able to like really look at
Mm-hmm.
things, they're so intricate and wonderful looking. All that stuff is great. I forget what's her name's um the the gal who played Lady Pinhead. I'm just going to call her Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale did a fantastic job. Um,
It's Jamie Clayton.
no, again, another decent legacy film that popped up on here. There was another one that came out on Hulu, which was Prey, but I didn't feel that was a horror film, so I didn't add that to the list this year. But another honorable mention. But Hellraiser, I thought was good enough to make the list, and kind of looking forward to where they go in the future with it, if it has a future.
Yeah.
Not sure, but no, Hellraiser made the list, so that was my number. What, 6? Are we on 6?
Yeah, we're on 6.
Yeah, so that was my number
Uh,
666, Hellraiser.
Wow, 6.
it'll be curious to
Woo.
see, because whether or not the movies, whatever production company has the rights to make the movies, HBO has some different rights to make that series, and apparently that's still in the works. And I noticed just recently all of the Hellraiser series popped up on HBO. It's all on there except for the new one, obviously. Um, so I felt like that was maybe the first inclination that that's coming this next year. I don't remember the stat. Some of these things like take forever or come and go, so who knows? But I think that's the next thing we're gonna see. So it'll be interesting to get another take. But yeah, I mean, hey, any moving forward in the Hellraiser camp is good moving forward. Or that sounded stupid, but whatever. Um, my number 6 is my caveat, because I saw this for the first time in 2021, because it's like this year with Kevin Williamson's Sick. I don't even know when that's coming out, so I'm not talking about that movie. I don't know that it would have made the list anyway, but it's just I would not even talk about it for this because I don't know when anyone else will see it. I saw it at Beyond Fest, and as far as I know, like there's not even thumbnails or anything the last time I looked. That was how this was last year, and that's Black Phone. But I saw it again this year when it got its release. It was postponed a couple times, and I just think Black Phone is fantastic. Derrickson and Cargill, great team. I love Sinister, and even if you don't like Sinister, I say give this a shot. It's better than the Joe Hill story. I mean, it's a different thing. The short story has different aspirations and achieves it. This has bigger aspirations, and so they had to pad the story out. And it's not even the right word, because they didn't just pad it out. They really added to it in a way that I really, really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of the horror movies that focus around kids outside of the early 80s don't work. and this one just really did. So I was very pleased with it. Fantastic. Black Phone.
Black Phone was good. He was a creep.
Yeah.
Played a good creep.
5, Tori.
Ooh, funky number 5. I picked X.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was really late to the game with X, like very late watching it. Finally popped it in. Was really, I kind of already knew what was going to happen. Spoilers don't bug me. But yeah, I was really impressed. It was, I love Mia Goth. I've seen in a bunch of other stuff. I think she's a great actress. I didn't even realize Wednesday was in it.
Yeah,
That kind of
she's
threw
turned
me
out to be
off.
something else, man. She's impressive.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else she does because she's been doing just, she's done a lot of different stuff, which I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Pretty
was
entertaining.
really, I loved X. A lot of the stuff kind of happened in the daytime, so a daytime kind of horror story always is always good to me. Impressed with the gore, the whole tie-in, and then Goth playing 2 roles. All about it. It was really great. Haven't seen Pearl yet, but definitely loved X.
Right on. Yeah, Pearl's a different kind of movie, but you know, also fantastic.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's what I've heard. She looks really unhinged in Pearl. I love
Yeah.
an unhinged woman, so I'm
Wait till
all
you
about it.
Wait till you see the closing credits shot.
Man, so I read about that shot
Oh my God.
and like how she like does a motion to tell him to cut and he still just keeps going, so she just holds it forever.
Oh my, man, I didn't even realize she was trying to communicate that. It reminds me of the only credit sequence that might top that is A Wounded Fawn, where it's just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like,
Yeah.
is this the Faith No More epic video? Like, what is going on right now? Like, holy shit.
We're
Uh,
gonna keep going. All right.
oh, I love these things being done with the you know, the post credits. Just, oh man, so cool.
Yeah, I encourage that trend.
Yeah. Anthony, 5.
Yeah, it was 1995's Lady Terminator. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that a
Actually,
movie?
it is a movie. I don't know if it's from '95, but
Is that a
I
movie
know
or a
it's
perfume?
Both.
both. Both. Exactly.
Jim Cotta.
James Cameron and Chanel have teamed up to give you Lady Terminator,
Lady Terminator.
a scent that won't stop until they're dead. Okay.
Which kind of tracks because James Cameron is essentially just handed over his balls as of late, but that's another topic altogether.
Yeah, it is.
No, actually, mine was X as well. Number 5 was X for me.
Ooh.
So there you have it, everybody. X, and again, fun movie all around. Almost slapstick at points, and then when the gore hits, it's fucking solid. And then, I mean, old people fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
there you have it, right there. That's just I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's made me want to fucking gouge my fucking eyes out more than what I saw in that movie.
Nice.
It's fucking ugh.
Or maybe the
Anyway,
fact
yeah.
you liked it more than you thought.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't take
Look.
my eyes off the old people fucking.
We do not kink judge on here. We don't kink shame on
Yeah.
this show. Yeah, you know, everybody's got their vices. I wear tutus, and you know, that is what it is.
It is what it is.
So yeah, number 5, Ty West X. Moving on.
My number 5, Jordan Peele's Nope. Blown the fuck away.
Okay.
Hard to remember it after the fact, but I just remember walking out of that theater and repeating to myself, you will not forget this come end of the year. No matter what you see from here out, remember your absolute amazement walking out of this theater. And that's all. I mean, I know a lot of people think that it's his weakest film. I mean, I think it's his best, but I skew in the opposite direction as a lot of people. I think this is his best. I think it's in order. Get Out's fucking fantastic, but I think that he's really just becoming something that's just really cinematic and wonderful. And who'd have fucking thought, right? So I mean, I want him to continue to make horror movies for as long as he's willing, and I think that'll be a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't put Nope on my list only because of the ending.
I think if you had
My
seen it in the
only
theater, it's another one of those movies where I think the spectacle on the big screen is what, if I had seen it on a smaller screen, I feel like I would have been more critical of it, but I was just so like
I
blown
just
away.
wanted to see less of Jean Jacket. That's all. That's all. I just wanted to not see as much because whatever. I don't want to see, you know what I mean? I don't want the full Monty. I want to see a little bit. But
It's interesting, because we never went in depth on this film on the show.
We
I
didn't,
think
you're
all
right.
of us had seen it at such separate times. None of us
Mhm.
we never got together to do an episode, which I still think it does deserve. But yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Classic corner, man.
But
yeah, exactly.
definitely worth a watch. Like I would watch that movie again. It is great. I loved the characters
Yeah, I did too.
in it. They were well written. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to tease a little more, that's all. But that's just me being picky.
No, that's it's a fair and valid point for sure. Also, I just couldn't believe how much screen time the Jesus Lizard and Mr. Bungle got from the clothing assortment. I'm like, I cannot even believe. I couldn't believe I was looking at a Jesus Lizard shirt for that long in that movie. It made me. I was literally like giggling, like
He's in on
so
the joke too.
it's
He
so
knows.
so happy, and they popped up a couple times. Saint Maud, there's a track or a scene where she's in a bar,
Mhm.
and I forget what song it is, but it's been a couple times the last couple of years. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, whatever. That
It just gave you bonus points.
yeah, exactly. Um, Tori 4.
Number 4. So my number 4, I thought this movie was great. Didn't know where it was. I didn't know what to expect watching it. Loved it. And to me, the lead male was so good at playing creep. I picked Fresh for number 4.
Oh, interesting.
Um, I I would say it's horror. I guess maybe some people could
Yeah, it
argue it's
is. It
not,
is.
right? Right?
It is.
But Sebastian Stan, I'm so used to him playing the fucking Winter Soldier and these kind of more heroic dudes. So seeing him at this like creepy guy and his little dance when he's cooking, I'm gonna kiss that man on the mouth, like open mouth. It was so good.
It is a fantastic movie. I did really really enjoy it.
Had a lot of gore too. I wasn't I don't know. When I watch Hulu and Netflix, I forget it's a streaming service. They could do whatever the fuck they want, cussing, whatever. So when I watch that kind of movie and I see the gore, it always kind of shocks me a little bit
Yeah.
because I'm old. I'm still thinking I'm watching like my parents' 13 channel TV. But that was a really good surprise, and Hulu really put out some good quality shit this year all around. So
Definitely.
Fresh for
Anthony,
me.
did you see Fresh? I don't remember.
Whom were
I
we
say
speaking
Anthony.
with?
Anthony, did you see Fresh?
Nah, I didn't see Fresh. Who the fuck is that?
You
Fresh,
better
the
go
new
see
guy on the corner.
Fresh.
New guy on the corner. He's selling nickel bags. You gotta go
You
see
was getting
Fresh.
fresh with me now?
Get a
Huh?
nickel bag. Let me know.
No, I'll throw it on though. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've heard it spoken about in circles. I haven't watched it yet though, so it might have made the list today. Who knows? But
It's
yeah,
got a polish to it that is surprising because, like Tori said, with the gore, gore is normally visceral. I mean, usually filmmakers lean into the visceral element of it, and here it's not really that visceral. I mean, there's inherently an element of that anyway, but it's very slick. But it fits the story, and I don't know. It was really well done. I did enjoy it quite a bit. Good pick.
Yay. Don't get fresh with me.
Anthony, stop getting fresh and give us your number 4.
Number 4, The Black Phone from Scott Derrickson.
Nice.
Also of Hellraiser Inferno fame, which is by far one of my favorite Hellraiser films, which we've spoken about on this fucking channel countless times at this point.
Fucking love Inferno. Sorry, I will
Oh, I
always.
hate it.
It is. It's fucking great. Fucking great. And fuck everyone who doesn't like it. I'm sorry, Sean, but fuck you.
That's okay.
Just kidding.
I just watched it for the first time like 6 months ago, and I just absolutely hated it.
It's-
I wanted. I tried. Anyway, yeah,
the
Black
fucking
Phone.
Wire Twins. Oh god. Anyway, Black Phone hit all those, nostalgic bits of like everything I loved about like Devil's Backbone and that kind of ghost story, that kind of where the dead help put together the pieces to have somebody kind of get the spirits to rest and things like that, which is something that Guillermo has touched on before, even when he produced The Orphanage and stuff like that. And just seeing that conveyed to an American audience, through this lens is just really fucking breathtaking. And it's another one that I regret not being able to see in theaters. And but I have Peacock at home, so I was able to sit down and do that one, and was just completely blown away by it. And there's still some very haunting moments that stick with me as a parent who thinks about all the kids that they go through all this horrible shit that happens to them, and it's fucked in a lot of different ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, we support kid killing on this show, but it's a rough one at times. And
In film, not in person.
for yourself.
Mr. FBI man hearing us right now.
Here's Sean's address. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
No, but I dug this one quite a bit, and this is why it made the top 5. I dug the shit out of it. The different feelings it invokes, and just its overall aesthetic and imagery. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. So yeah, definitely hats off to Scott Derrickson. I mean, yeah, the guy did fucking Doctor Strange or some shit, and he does this, and it's like, god damn, man, like, what else you got? So I want to see where this guy goes in the future, and he's definitely got some decent titles under his belt, and would really like to see him continue work in the genre, or just in the realm of the fantastic as is. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Mr. Derrickson. But yeah, number 4, Black Phone.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
My number 4, X. Just glad to have Ty West back, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. But we've talked about it. So Tori, number 3.
Number 3. So I went for number 3. Generalization. Cabinet of Curiosities. Just watch them. Watch them all.
Well,
all
yeah,
great.
That's awesome.
All fucking well-known horror directors. Everything's different. We've talked about it before. Watch them, and it's on Netflix. Borrow somebody's password before they stop that.
I'll have more to say on that in a minute.
Oh, the password?
No, on cabinet. Anthony, 3.
Number 3, Hannah Bergholm's The Hatching.
Oh,
Nice.
I couldn't say enough good things about this when we saw it in theaters. It has stuck with me. I'm glad that it did make its way to Hulu, so I was able to check it out and had a place to refer people to watch it. Because I mean, if you missed it, the 1.5 weeks it was playing, like that was it. And like to this date, there still isn't a DVD or Blu-ray on the market. I think it just got announced like 2 weeks ago. So we're going on almost a year later. This thing's finally going to be made a little more accessible. For those that would like to have the physical copy. But this movie is nasty. Again, as Tori said before, there's body horror in it. There's just some goopy, gross shit. There's the doppelganger. What was that word you coined earlier? Doppelganger,
Burma
penis bird, Burma-ganger. Yeah, that thing. That's in it. Horrific family trauma. And it's got everything. It checks all the boxes for me, and it's fucking great. And again, that's floating around there somewhere. So if it's still streaming on Hulu, fucking fantastic. Y'all go run and watch that shit, because it is fucking creepy and gross. And obviously it's made all 3 of our lists here. Hopefully it makes Ray's. That's got to fucking count for something. Go watch the fucking movie. That was my number 3, The Hatching.
My number 3, I will probably get shit for this, because I don't care. I just got done saying it's a movie. Somebody's gonna say it's a TV show. I'm gonna say it's not a TV show because each of the 8 episodes are films, in my opinion, by filmmakers, as Tori said. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosity, but specifically my number 3.
Oh, I know what it is, baby. Go for
And
it.
if I could have seen this in a theater, all bets are off. I don't think it would have beaten Barbarian. In fact, I know it wouldn't have. It might have been my number 2. The Viewing.
You knew it.
I just don't know what to say. It is, yeah, like what? I Panos Cosmatos, please just do a movie a year, please, for the love of God. I know it's not going to happen, but somebody give him the money to do it. I don't know. I was so even if it's an hour-long movie, I was just absolutely floored. Just the aesthetic, the acting, the whole way it unfolds, which is just you're just like, what the fuck? I mean, you know it's going somewhere horrific, but you just don't know where.
Mhm.
God, and the final image, just maybe my favorite final image, maybe of the year. Just absolutely fantastic. Can't say enough
And
good things about it.
solid cast. Solid
Yeah.
fucking cast in that one too.
God, so good. Um, 2, Tori.
We're already at number 2. All right, number 2. So this was really number 1, and then something knocked it down. My number 2 is gonna be Barbarian.
Ooh,
Again, that movie, the more I thought about it, the more it stuck with me. And then when it got onto, I believe, HBO, I had to rewatch it. I watched it like 2 more times. Fucking love it. It's like great. The things I love about 80s horror, I just didn't know where it was going. Took me by surprise. And again, like just the things I thought of after, the things I didn't see freaked me out more, almost as much as the shit I did see in that movie. And I had so many goddamn questions. Like, what the fuck is
yep.
this? What? So number 2 for me, Barbarian. You were number 1, baby, for a long time, but I'll get to that in a second.
Right on. Anthony, 2.
Number 2, Jordan Peele's Nope.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Again, this is one that we haven't spoken about on the podcast as much. Again, like I said earlier, we've all kind of seen these at different points throughout the year, so we kind of never were able to get the episode together. But there are just so many fucking interesting things that happen in it. And I guess the thing that didn't bother me about the exposure of Jean Jacket and seeing too much of her, was that it reminded me of a Godzilla character called Orga from Godzilla 2000, which was literally a living floating spaceship that would go around and just attack shit. And then eventually it kind of unfurls itself and becomes this huge monster. Not as probably a lot more elaborate than what you see Jean Jacket become. But just the idea that this thing is out there floating around, sucking shit up and eating it. And I think probably the most terrifying thing about it is that you can hear the people that are slowly being digested inside of it screaming anytime the
Yeah.
thing is near. There's just a lot of really fucking cool concepts in it. The digestion scene where it just fucking rains blood.
Yeah.
I wanted to be standing underneath it when it was happening. It was fucking beautiful. There's just some genuinely terrifying shots in here. Again, a loft that's like left to the imagination because obviously you can't see what's happening. But there's some pretty fucking amazing stuff in here. There's a lot of funny stuff in here. It's well written. It's well acted. Cinematography is fucking great. There's so many fucking good things to say about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Considering, and I didn't watch it in theaters because I was afraid that it was going to be too, I didn't want to have, I didn't want to be beaten over the head with something, and or maybe something I didn't agree with, and come out of a film feeling victimized, and that's not what happened with this one. And I think it's his strongest film. And to reiterate what Sean said, I think This one, Get Out, and Us is probably his weakest, but this one is probably his strongest by far. And yeah, I really enjoyed Nope this year. So Nope by Jordan Peele, number 2.
Right on. I just realized I
Nice.
always call us them. Every time I've referred to it on this podcast, I think I've called it. Great, great movie. Great movie.
I believe they are they them. So get that right.
That was also a movie that came out this year that I don't think any of us saw, and more than one person told me not to bother. So I may watch it
Yeah.
eventually. My number 2, Smile. Just it just I really think it had a lot to do with me hating the trailer and thinking I would just not ever be interested in seeing this movie, and then seeing it and was just completely surprised. I loved it. Sound design had a lot to do with it, but I just everything about. I know people say it borrows very liberally from other things, and it does, but in a way where I didn't feel like I had seen this exact thing before. And I don't know. I was really impressed with it, and whether Parker Finn does a sequel or whatever he does next, I will definitely see. Another just a fantastic first movie. Like, geez. Tori.
Anxiety inducing. Oh
Yeah,
man. Okay, so my number
definitely.
one.
Drum roll.
You guys.
I
So I watched this movie immediately. The next day I rewatched it, and I'm probably gonna watch it again tonight. Motherfucking Christmas, Bloody Christmas. Oh, I love you, Joe. I'm gonna make out with you so hard. Oh, it was so good. It's just, oh man, it was like what I love about this movie is it's a nod to shit you loved. You know what I mean? Or shit I
Mhm.
still love, but but doing something different at the same time. Like I felt like I was watching Hardware or Chopping
Yeah.
Mall. Oh, it was so good. And it was just, I didn't know how gory he was going to go with it. And he fucking goes like over the top. And then I loved all the fucking characters in that movie. So, of course, it hurt when they die. I knew it was coming. No, Robbie. But, and I love the fact that she loved, like, the main character loves these fucking movies that everybody hates. Alien 3.
Yeah.
Hellraiser Inferno. So, God, that was my number one. Christmas fucking Bloody Christmas. Everything that man has directed so far, I've loved. He's never done me wrong. I love you so much. Please just do what you do. Fuck everybody else. I love you. That's all.
Amen. Well said. I'm glad that makes me super happy that made your number 1. That's very, very cool.
It did. Like, Barbarian was number 1, and then CBC came out and kind of like shook up my list. I had to like rethink everything.
Wow. That's awesome. That's very awesome.
Oh, so good. I love you, Joe. JB. It's gonna put out a restraining order on me without ever having met me. Great. I'm just kidding. I'm not this weird.
I think he would be thankful. I think he would be like, well, thank you. Or he'd probably say something more like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no. Get out of my house. Oh, sorry.
Anthony, number 1.
Number 1. If there was one film I had to think of this year that was the greatest, I must say, easily. Number 1. Cue up the Basil Palladores, please. Handful of Crumb. Motherfucking Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
Number 1.
Woo!
Zach Krieger's Barbarian. You motherfuckers.
Wait, Bavarian?
Yeah, the Bavarian.
Is that the movie about what really goes into the Bavarian cream donuts?
Yes.
Oh.
I put a lot of work into making those.
It smelled like bleach. Oh.
It's not bleach, baby.
Ugh.
Number 1, fucking Barbarian.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what else we could have fucking said about this movie that we haven't already said in a past episode. Go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Fucking great, solid goddamn movie. Especially, seeing where the guy comes from. being a fan of Whitest Kids You Know, honestly, and giving this guy a chance to do a fucking genre pick that just kisses all of us on the nose and as we get tucked in for the night. It's such a fun fucking movie. Horrific at times, and like when you see Richard Brake show up on screen, you're like, this is gonna get so much fucking worse right now.
Yeah, right.
There's and again, all that stuff is implied, but you're like, when he's there, it's like this is all gonna go. It's gonna get like shit's just gonna go shithouse. But it's fucking great. The movie's fantastic. It's hilarious at times. The kills are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
You genuinely feel for the characters, except for fucking Long. You hate him and you want him to die from the second you see him on screen.
But
And he gets his comeuppance.
conversely, you enjoy almost every moment he's on screen too. Like he's it's a weird thing, you know. I'll just say this is my number one as well, so we can just both talk about it. Yeah, I mean, and like Richard Brake immediately, because also you don't know when they're such cold. It doesn't hold your hand when it cuts to Justin Long. You're like, wait, what? When it cuts to Richard Brake, you're like, wait, what? And even with Richard Brake, then you're like, oh, this is like 40 years ago. They don't tell you that, and I fucking love that they don't tell me that because I can figure it out. You know,
I mean, the things you figure out are just horrific because it's this legacy of just disgusting shit he's done. You know what I mean? And it's running rampant in the fucking streets at night. It's disgusting and disturbing. I love the movie though.
Yeah.
I mean, for all the darkest places that it goes to, the movie has just shined above all the other ones this year. It's Barbarian it's just my number one of the year. It's been fantastic and it's been hard to beat and hasn't been beaten in my opinion since I saw it. That day I went to go watch, I watched Pearl and that one back to back, and boy, was Pearl a quiet snooze fest after coming out of Barbarian, because Jesus fucking Christ, that movie's insane.
Yep.
And that's my number one of the year. Now put on your fucking Christmas cat and fuck you.
Oh, Barbarian. Barbarian was great.
It
was really good.
I mean, and I really feel like it just elevated the whole year. You know, like my whole year was better because of Barbarian. Like in all the other movies that I love were better because I've just been high on Barbarian ever since I saw it, and man,
absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, Barbarian was great. I loved the posters for it too, like all the variations.
Yep.
And such throwbacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but I don't know. That's Killer Santa just did it for me. Yeah.
you notice with Barbarian that image of her in the doorway where they're at the bottom of the stairs with the camera looking up and she's standing. I've now seen that in I don't know how many trailers since Barbarian came out. That's like an image that will be repeated because of the success of this movie. And it was successful at another first movie, and it was successful in the theater, like unprecedentedly so, and it's successful on HBO. I think I heard somebody say it's like the most watched movie of the year or something on HBO, something like that. Either which way, just really, and I just think an important movie for the genre as well. So, man, just absolutely hats off. I will say, I just want to add one thing. One is an honorable mention, and that's Netflix and director that did Texas Chainsaw, or he did Evil Dead 2013. Help me. Fede
Alvarez.
Fede Alvarez and Netflix, their Texas Chainsaw Massacre, widely hated. It didn't make my list. But I would like to give it an honorable mention because I thought they did a really good job. I don't care what anybody else says. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
That was a fun fucking movie. No, I dug that one.
Yeah, I know, Tori.
I had fun with it.
Okay, when I say that, I'm not pushing back at you. I know there are people that vehemently like trash other people for liking it or whatever, and I just don't. I don't get it. It's like you like what you like, So
yeah, and I mean, and honestly, even if you hated it, it's worth just the fucking bus scene alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or just watch that scene and turn it off. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be fine. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, baby.
I agree.
My honorable mention would have to be Prey on Hulu. Fucking solid. And I'd have to say it's not really horrorish, but Sandman. Watch that fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
oh beautiful.
I still don't think they've announced whether or not there's gonna be a second season, which just pisses me right the fuck off. But I stopped
I don't-
looking too because I was driving myself nuts.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we can
We can hope.
girl can hope.
And also I just like to say, not an honorable mention, but the most important, a movie I enjoyed, but the most important horror movie of this year, by far, is Terrifier 2. No matter how anybody feels about it, that has made things possible that, like, I don't think Christmas Bloody Christmas would have played at the theaters it played at, because it played at a lot of theaters in strange markets. I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't for Terrifier 2. And still not really a fan of the original one. It's okay. I did really like the second one, and I had some grievances as I said on the show, but nobody can argue it is very important. It's just talk about the little movie that could. I mean, damn.
Yeah. And good
Guys,
for
go ahead.
oh no, just
No, go
good
ahead.
for Terrifier too, and even CBC for making some money in theaters with not getting a lot of press about it.
Yeah.
Well, Terrifier did eventually, but
Yeah, we heard about we got news earlier this week too about Fede Alvarez's involvement with the new Alien film that's going to be a Hulu original. So that might be something to look forward to next year, I think.
Yeah.
And then my two honorable mentions that I was gonna, that almost made the list, but I didn't put them on. Was Christmas Bloody Christmas and Terrifier 2. I have jumped on the art train. I recently went back and rewatched the first one after going and watching the second one theatrically. And even after having like an abysmal fucking time watching that movie in theaters, no fault to the film itself. But I just went the other day and pre-ordered the 4K that's coming out this week. Actually, the 27th, is that Wednesday? Wednesday the 27th?
Yes.
Yes. So that's going to be available on the 27th for those who don't want to own it digitally and want to go out and buy a Blu-ray
tomorrow.
or DVD.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's going to be a fucking thing, man. So that I just got a notification that said it shipped. So I should have that either tomorrow or Wednesday. So I'm really excited about that, y'all. But Christmas Bloody Christmas, out fucking standing. Again, go back and listen to the episode. We touched on it quite a bit. Terrifier 2, another fun, fucking just disgusting gore fest. That was not for the faint of heart, but just silly enough to keep you, watching, much like a Dawn of the Dead or something like that, where it's got its moments just to kind of offset the nausea you have going on in your gut while watching it. But those are the two films that I wanted to add to the list. But yeah, they were fucking fantastic. Another two, great nods for the year.
So, well, okay, guys, thank you once again. I mean, we come to the end of another year. I love doing this show with you guys, and because of you guys, and I always just love rounding up our favorites at the end because it's cool to see where we overlap. It's cool to see where we differ, and Christmas Bloody Christmas was on my list until A Wounded Fawn. It just changed the whole, yeah, but and God only knows what we missed, right? So
yeah,
I'm sure we will continue to stumble across things from this year as we progress. I know there was a couple I didn't get to. I couldn't tell you what they are, but as I'm sure is the same with you guys. Yeah. I don't know. We'll be back soon with another episode, but that's our best of 2022. So everybody out there listening, have a great end of 2022 and a great beginning of 2023, and we'll see you soon. So for the Horror Vision Horror Podcast, I am Sean.
I'm
Anthony. Tori. Oh, sorry. Happy New Year.